All right, what's up, y'all? So recently on Raw, they've been running a storyline with Karrion Kross's new stable, The Final Testament, and The New Day, where it seems Karrion is trying to break up The New Day and get Xavier to join his group or something, or just break up The New Day just to break them up. And it's not my favorite storyline right now, but it's compelling, you know. Recently, they're adding Odyssey Jones to it as he is the quote-unquote replacement for Big E, obviously not being there due to his injury. And they're trying to tell the story of like Xavier not really being too comfortable with Odyssey Jones being in the group, but he's not like fully into it yet. But you can tell by like his facial expressions and his body language, you know. Kofi's like really hype about Odyssey being there. Odyssey, obviously, he's hype. And Xavier's like, you know, he's skeptical about it. This is my thing. I'm fully on Xavier's side. I ain't gonna lie. Kofi's cutting off Xavier when he wants to say certain things, and it's like you can tell what they're trying to do. Xavier's completely right. Big E should never be replaced. I know Kofi's going to try to spin it as if it's not a real replacement, but that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want the New Day to break up. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I don't want to put too much stock into E wrestling because there's a high chance that he never wrestles again, unfortunately. And that leaves the New Day in kind of a limbo because they haven't really been much of a sustainable tag team since right before the Usos beat them and broke their record. I think that was like, to me, that was like the end of the New Day right there when the Usos broke the record. And it wasn't anything that Kofi and Xavier could do about it. It was just the New Day no longer had the stock anymore. You know, they're one of the most successful stables / tag teams of all time. I think they were better than the Shield were. I had multiple debates about this and stuff. I put the New Day over everyone. Mostly everyone, as I'll say. But I do think that a breakup of the New Day isn't needed. I think they can tell the story in a different way without having Kofi and Xavier go different ways. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I feel like there's certain stables like DX and I guess you can say technically NWO if you want to, stables that never really broke up. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to be a stable. I think the New Day should always be a stable. I don't think they should ever go through a point where they're not a stable anymore. And not even talking about E at this point. I just don't think Xavier and Kofi should go their separate ways. You know? The only thing I long for Xavier is for him to get like one singles championship before it's over, you know, because he won King of the Ring and it was immediately taken from him by Roman Reigns because Vince McMahon has no idea how to book wrestling shows. And that was during a time where it was just Roman has to look strong all the time. And Vince was so dumb. His whole idea of making Roman look strong completely eclipsed Xavier Woods winning an entire King of the Ring tournament. And that's one of the main grievances I had with Roman's entire run those past 3 years. So Xavier even coming out of that and still being a sustainable wrestler is a miracle for himself. You know what I'm saying? Kofi Kingston, first ballot Hall of Famer, you know. In my eyes, he'll be in the Hall of Fame twice, for the New Day and for himself. I don't even think people realize how successful Kofi Kingston is, you know what I'm saying? But I just think a breakup isn't needed, you know? I feel like, say if you break them up. Let's just say Xavier clotheslines Kofi and attacks Odyssey Jones and they just go their separate ways. Now you have Xavier Woods, who is, I don't know if they're going to put him in the Final Testament. I hope not, because he's going to stick out. I don't think he should do that. But let's say Xavier does his own thing, you know? How are we supposed to differentiate him and what they have Kofi Kingston doing? Is Kofi going to try to get him back, you know? Xavier Woods can work as a heel. I just think he's a natural babyface, especially with Kofi as well. Odyssey, he's not as much as he's not a component here, you know what I'm saying? He's there, obviously, but I don't really care, if I'm being honest with you, because, for multiple different reasons, but I just don't agree with the he's fitting an E spot, I'm not a big fan of that itself. I just don't think E should be replaced. Now, you could say it's not a replacement. Again, that's exactly what it is. And I hope that they if they're going to go into the storyline, no matter what I say, if they're going to go into this, I hope Xavier keeps poking at that we aren't supposed to just act like E just is done forever, even though we don't know. But even so, there are no replacements here. We can't. It's not like DX or NWO where you keep adding members and do. The New Day is 3: Kofi, Xavier, E. That's it. And I think, okay, if we're gonna make this story really, really good, then let's just take the opposite side of this. Even though I don't want this really to go down, but remember, Xavier had to recruit E and Kofi. You know what I'm saying? Xavier came with the white suit and the glasses, and he recruited E and Kofi because they were losing all these matches. Xavier created the New Day. So if you're going to do this, you have to go full in to Xavier telling Kofi that I didn't recruit Odyssey Jones. This is my creation. I did this. You know what I'm saying? Kofi was bouncing from tag team to tag team with CM Punk and Evan Bourne, and now he found himself with E. Xavier Woods brought the New Day together when they were just clapping and when they were doing the church thing. You know what I'm saying? Xavier built this city. So for Kofi to go making executive decisions as big as this without even asking Woods how he felt about it, come on, man. You have to divulge into that. You have to go deep into that to make this storyline work. Again, I will cry on the floor if the New Day officially break up ever. But at least make it entertaining and sensible. Now, for the love of Jeff Hardy, please do not put Xavier in the Final Testament. If you're going to turn him heel, if you're going to break him from the New Day, fine, whatever. Don't put him in that group. And I'm partially mad that Karrion Kross is the reason why this is happening, you know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, Karrion Kross being this instrumental in a New Day breakup may give the Final Testament what they need for people to believe in them. Because I believe in the Authors of Pain. That's it. And I believe in Scarlett. I don't believe in Paul Ellering. Well, I'll say Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering, he's a part of it. He's part of the AOP thing. I don't believe in Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross has given me nothing to believe in since he came out with that hourglass when Roman and Drew were about to do their thing. I was watching that SmackDown. That was such a good SmackDown. SmackDown was amazing at that point. But when he did that, I was like, oh, they about to do something. And then it just never came. It never came. They tried and they tried and they tried and they tried and they tried, and it just never came. And then, for my money, I watched the worst match I've ever seen, while I was in the arena. The match he had with Drew McIntyre, I think it was a strap match at Extreme Rules. The same night Bray came back. That match was terrible. I believe it was a strap match. It was trash. It was pure, undisputed buns. And I was sitting there in that crowd why am I watching? What do you... And ever since then, it's just gotten worse. Now, the Final Testament stuff, I see where they're trying to go. So I'm going to let it rock for right now. And they're giving them something to do. They're trying to break up one of the most historic tag teams / stables in the company's history. So I like that they're giving them direction and a motive. But please, this has to work. You know what I'm saying? This has to work. As much as I want it to work for the sake of the Final Testament, I don't want it to work because, again, I don't think the New Day should ever break up. I am so adamant on them being one of those tag teams that just never breaks up. If the Shield never broke up, I feel they'll be even bigger than what they are. You know what I'm saying? The Shield still holds weight now. A lot of the Roman and Rollins feud was surrounded around the Shield, if not all of it. Part of the reason why Roman lost at WrestleMania is because of the Shield, because he decided to hit Rollins with the chair instead of hit Cody. You know what I'm saying? So, for the Shield to be so relevant right now in 2024, the New Day they've stayed consistent and they've stayed relevant this whole time. You know what I'm saying? They for somehow, some way, they've made their way to be relevant this far into their run with no championships and barely any feuds on Monday Night Raw, where there's so much more interesting things happening than what the New Day are doing. But they're still finding a way to stay relevant. That's a testament within itself. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? So, again, if they're going to do this breakup, do it right. You know? If it's for my money, don't do it at all. But if you're going to do it and make it compelling. Don't just do it just to break Xavier and Kofi up and say, okay, we're done now. Or just to give Karrion Kross something to say, okay, I did this. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, if they're going to go through with this, hopefully it's compelling. Hopefully they can build this into a storyline that can captivate more people, like the Bloodline story did, like the Judgment Day story is slowly starting to do. You know, these stable breakup things, it seems with Triple H, they go really, really slow. But when they happen, it's great. And if you can make this into like a pay-per-view level feud or pay-per-view level storyline to where one of the biggest moments happens on the pay-per-view or something, you got money right there. You got it. So I'm going to keep watching though. The best thing about it is that for the most part, besides Karrion Kross, everyone in this story, it seems like they can tell this story well. I just hope it works. You know what I'm saying? If they're going to go through with it, I hope it works. It'll be a shame for them to go through with this decision, which I don't agree with, and then have it be bad, because that's just going to make me even more mad. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do you want the New Day to break up? If you want the New Day to break up, why do you hate happiness? Like, what happened? Why do you hate pancakes and booty holes and clapping? Like, I just want to know. But yeah, just let me know how you guys feel about this storyline. Do you want the New Day to break up? Do you not want them to break up? How do you feel about Xavier Woods? Who's right? And where did Odyssey Jones come from? What it was like 411 days or something since he got drafted. He just popped up in New Day. I was so confused. I was like, oh, finally, Odyssey's here. You know, about time you drafted him. Might as well use him. That man got drafted twice. That man got drafted twice and put in the New Day stable. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But y'all let me know, man, how you feel about it. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if you have not already. Comment down below. Can I do next man? Stay safe, drink water. I love you guys. Praise God. And I will see you in the next video, man.